We will. This way they can get everybody in. Okay? All right, let's go. Yes, thank you. I can hold it. Well, thank you for coming, and every one of us has so many stories to tell of the people who are hurt. As the Trump shutdown drags on, more and more Americans are getting hurt. 800,000 federal employees without pay. Each one of these Americans has a different story about how the shutdown is hurting them and their families. Every one of us hears over and over again how many people are being hurt. I want to share the story of Michael Goffrancesco. He's a federal food safety inspector. He's a federal food safety inspector for the Department of Agriculture. He works in Cicero, New York, a suburb of Syracuse. You can see he's a proud Syracuse fan. He's wearing his Syracuse hat. Mr. Goffrancesco started at the USDA 46 years ago. You know why he signed up to work for the government? He heard President John F. Kennedy ask Americans what they could do for their country. As soon as he got out of college, he signed up to do his part. Now, Mr. Goffrancesco suffers from a heart ailment that required treatment over Christmas, but he's missed a paycheck, and he doesn't know how he's going to be able to afford his medical bills on top of all the other bills. I want President Trump to see his face and the face of all these others. I want President Trump to look into these faces and see what he is doing by using these men and women as pawns, using them in an extortion game to say, I am going to hurt these people unless I get my way. Mr. President, President Trump, look at the pain and suffering you're causing. So we have one simple message today, 3 words. Open the government. To Senate Republicans, open the government. To Leader McConnell, open the government. To President Trump, open the government and start paying folks like Mr. Goffrancesco for their work. Senator Murray. Want me to hold it?
We are 26 days into this Trump shutdown. It is the longest shutdown in the history of our country. 26 days of uncertainty for our workers and their families. 26 days of missing a paycheck, missing your rent payment, growing bills. 26 days of chaos and dysfunction at our airports, at our national parks, and more. 26 days of the President of the United States having a temper tantrum and playing politics. 26 days of people across the country paying the price. That's why we are here today, because to us, this is about of all of those people. It is about their families. It is about their communities, the people that we represent who are being hurt for absolutely no good reason. People like Shirley. She's from my home state of Washington. She is a furloughed employee with the FAA who shared her story with me through my website. She told me that hers is a single income family, monthly bills to pay, and that not knowing when her paycheck will come is very stressful, to say the least. She isn't sleeping at night, worrying about how she can cut expenses to pay her bills as this shutdown continues. She does not know how she is going to make it. And she told me she knows so many others in the same position who are desperate for their country, for their government to fix this problem. And this is just one story. Look at all of these faces. These are pictures. There are so many more. People whose stories Democrats are sharing on the Senate floor this week. People just like them whose lives have been upended and in some cases destroyed because the person elected to serve all of the people, is focused on serving himself and playing political games. And because Republican leaders here in the Senate are refusing to stand up to President Trump and with their constituents, and refusing to allow us to even vote, to take a vote to open the government, a vote they know would pass. It is shameful that we have gotten to this place as a country, and we have got to get out. So Democrats are going to keep sharing the stories of real people. We're going to keep lifting up their voices, the people that are being hurt, and those who are impacted by President Trump and Republican senators' shutdown. We are not going to stop until this country is back open. Open the government. Open the government. Open the government.
Open
The government. Thank you.
Okay. We're just going to, it's cold, and we're just going to take a brief question or two. Not many. Yes.
The president always appears to be willing to negotiate when cameras are rolling or cameras in the room. Would you be willing to allow cameras into the White House if there was another discussion about a negotiation?
Well, you know, that's their choice. But whether the cameras are there or not, the president has said he will not open the government. He is just sticking to his position and won't budge. When even some of his emissaries, the vice president, Jared Kushner, Mulvaney, come to the Senate and say they might do other things, the president undercuts them. Cameras there or not.
Leader Schumer, Vice President says he put an offer on the table several weeks ago and that you haven't responded with a counteroffer.
We responded immediately with an offer, and the president rejected his offer an hour after he made it. Plain and simple. Rejected Pence's, the President Trump rejected Vice President Pence's office an hour after Pence made it to me, but we rejected it in the room. Thank you, everybody. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Schumer, what is your offer? Will you tell us where you are right now?
I guess not.
Thank you, everybody.
Stock photos.
No, I'm not actually.
Right. Well, the initial offer from the Vice President, Mr. Pence says, came right at the start of the shutdown.